Hey, what's up, y'all? Welcome to Lunchtime with Heavy Cardboard, where we feature, well, what we consider thinky fillers. So lunchtime games that are good for you and your group during, well, a lunchtime. So I'm your host, Edward Euler. Happy to be joined by partner, good friend of ours.
I'm Jess.
I'm Julie.
All right, so today we are bringing y'all the Shipwreck Arcana, designed by Kevin Bishop and published by Meramorph Games. So welcome everybody watching live around the world as well as after the fact. Before we get started, a big thanks to all of our patrons who help make all this possible. Special shout out to Spencer Olson. Say thanks for choosing to be a patron and supporting the show. Quick reminder, if you guys like what we're doing here, don't forget to like and subscribe down below. Hit the bell to get reminded whenever we go live. And if you want to go that one extra step and help us and help yourself, you can go to pledgehc.com, become a member of the herd. Keep growing that number, get us closer to better equipment, and also get some benefits for yourselves. So, Shipwreck Arcana. I'd never heard of this game until a week ago. Today. Yeah, a week ago today. We actually went up to Maine for the weekend with Julie, and you had this game.
So I actually backed it on Kickstarter. I had heard of it a year ago. It was given to me. So the Kickstarter that they had was with expansions, and I had just gotten the new stuff. But I played it last year about this time, and really enjoyed it. Somebody else's copy. And it was really hard to get. So when the new Kickstarter came out, I knew that I wanted to back it. So it had just arrived. It was all fresh and shiny. And I also know that even though it is a lighter game, that it was something that I thought that you would enjoy.
You're right. It's a big logic puzzle. And I'll tell the story so I don't have to do it on the front end, but why my appeal to logic puzzles in general. But anyway, neither here nor there. We're going to play this, and hopefully you guys enjoy the playthrough and check out the game. So, I'm ready. If y'all are ready?
I'm
ready? So, here we go. The Shipwreck Arcana. Trapped in a drowned world. You and your allies are doomed. Or are you? Using a mystical deck and healthy dose of logic, you can predict each other's fates and escape unscathed. So, what you're looking at here is Arcana cards. So there's no board per se. It is, it's a bunch of Arcana cards. And then we have Fate tokens, which are these 21 tokens that are here. They're actually going to be in this bag. I just kept them out here because, hey, it looks pretty, but also to show you that there are 3 of each. This is important to know that there are 3 of each. Now, this game is a co-op. We either win together or lose together. I am usually anti-co-op. However, I am pro-logic puzzles, so that trumped the co-op nature of the game, and here we go. So we have 4 cards out here. We have the Hours card, as well as the other 4 Arcana cards, and these 4 are randomly selected from the deck, and we just have the base deck is all we're going to be playing with today. I'll go over everything on the cards here in detail there. Everybody has their own line token set, which all this is visual reminders and helpers for the other players on your team, which is, well, everybody at the table, all right? We have a doom marker and a score marker. Goal of the game being to get the score marker to 7 before the doom marker gets the 7, and we either win or lose. According to the rules, we're playing the easy version, and I don't know that it's easy because the doom marker starts at 0, which is where that is. Apparently, the further up it goes, it becomes so normal, it would start at 2. We found that this was hard enough in our first game, so we're going to leave it there. Yeah, my bad. All right. So
Listen, we played the percentages and we were wrong.
Right. We did the positive EV and didn't work out.
Didn't.
So there you go.
Totally didn't.
So the Arcana cards here. The front of each card has a number of different things of information. So first off, at the top, you have the name of the card, so the rider or the stranger, as you can see there. You have the ability here. Then you have the ability text, and this is going to be where the logic puzzle part of this game comes in. And I'll explain this in more detail, but obviously these are the rules for the card down below it. And then at the very bottom is the duration of a card. It can be anywhere, I think they go up to 3. I've seen as few as 1. There might be 1 or 2 that actually go up to 4, the duration on this. Then over on the flip side is the faded side of the card. Basically, if this number of pips is reached, whether it's 1, 2, 3, 4, however many, it will get flipped over, and it's a one-time use ability for a faded card. All right, as you can see there. So how do you actually play the game? Well, on a player's turn, they are the active player. Again, it's a co-op. We are trying to collectively get this green marker all the way up to 7, which means we need to succeed 7 times before we fail some number of times, okay? So what's going to happen, first off, is all of these 21 tokens are actually going to be in the bag, and whoever the active player is going to randomly draw 2 of the tiles. And let's say, for argument's sake, the 2 tiles that, if I'm the first player, I drew these. These are secret to me and only me, although I'll be honest, we're going to let you guys play along from my point of view, meaning when it's my turn, I will show you these, and then you will have to try and puzzle this out along with the other players, or from my point of view. And then when it's not my turn, you won't know what the 2 fate tiles are, so you have to play along as well. So what you're going to do is, if you have 1 of these left over from a previous turn, you're going to only draw 1. Up to 2, basically, is what it is. Then you're going to play 1 of those 2 fate tiles to 1 of the 5 available cards. The hours card on the left says, if you are unable to play on any of the other cards, play it here, okay? But otherwise, based on the numbers that are on there and some other rules that are actually depicted on the cards, you're going to play a tile that gives your team the best and most amount of information. So let's go through an example of this. Let's say I drew the 2 and the 5. So here, if the sum of your fates, meaning the 2 tiles, is 7, 8, or 9, play 1 of them here. Okay, well, everyone knows that they range from 1 to 7. So if I played, say, the 2 there, then they would know that I have a 5, 6, or 7. So at that point, if I did play the 2 here, they would talk amongst themselves and say, hey, would you please flip over your 1 through 4? Because they know that those are this tile cannot be one of those. Again, it's a logic puzzle. So that's what would happen if I played there. Then here, if one of your fates matches a visible fate, well, none of these would be visible. And there are none out here, so could not play either of these to that card. Play 1 of your fates here. If you do, say whether your remaining fate is higher or lower than this one. Okay, well, if we played the 2 here, we would have to say it's higher. If we played the 5 there, we would have to say it's lower. So I don't know that that would be better than playing onto that card. And then this one, if one of your fates is exactly 2 more or 2 less than the other, play 1 of them here. So if it were 2 and 4, I could play that there, which I would play the 2 because I couldn't go 2 lower, which means they would know that it's a 4. And that is the whole goal of this game. So in this case, I might do something like this. There. Then your opponent or your team can tell you to flip these over. You are never allowed to flip over your own unless you are asked to by the other players. And the other players are going to discuss freely amongst themselves, and maybe the peanut gallery, of what to flip over. So these 4 would be flipped over. So they then know that it's a 5, 6, or 7, but they only have a 33% chance to guess right. So now they have a decision. They being everyone but the active player. They can either make a prediction, i.e. guess what the hidden one is, or not. Okay? If they choose not to make a prediction, then they're going to go on to just fade. The fade step. And the fade step says at the end of each turn, check to see if any Arcana cards fade. What does that mean? Well, there are 3 symbols down here, and you'll notice the number of pips that are on these tiles. It is the same as what are on these tiles. So there's either 1, 2, or 3 pips. If I had played a 7 here, then that would be 3 pips. Or if on a subsequent turn, if they don't guess, somebody plays that there, it then fades and it would flip over. And what happens when it fades, it will come down like so, or maybe we'll put it up here, you get the idea. And on a future turn, this will be a one-time use kind of bonus for not having guessed, okay? So that's what happens if a player chooses not to, guess or predict the other players. Mm-hmm. However, the downside to doing so, if going back to our example, if it had been like this, the doom counter will advance 2 steps, and this will then fade, and now you get a benefit. And then we will play another card over here to replace that card. It'll be the next player's turn. So that's if you choose not to predict, okay? But let's say they were feeling frisky, and they said, you know what? We know it's only a 5, 6, or 7. We're going to guess something, one of those 3 numbers. Well, they make a single prediction. They agree upon what number they're going to guess that it is. And it's a statement about a single number. So, hey, we predict that it's going to be a 5 or a 6 or a 7. Then they go into the resolution. If it's correct, you're quote-unquote freed from your fate, and then score 1 point. Easy enough. That's if it's correct. If it's not, then the doom track advances 1. So the doom track is going to advance 1 or 2 steps if you're wrong or you choose not to guess. Mm-hmm. If you choose not to guess, it advances 2, but you get the benefit of the faded card. If you do choose to guess and you're wrong, it advances 1. Then after that, whatever's left in your hand goes back into the bag, and then at the beginning of your next turn, you will draw 2 more fates. If you choose not, or your allies choose not to guess, in that case, keep the fate that you have hidden face down, do not reset your line numbers, and then just draw another one the next turn. There you go. Mm-hmm. And we continue until one of these reaches 7. That's pretty much the gist of the game. Again, it's a giant logic puzzle. Mm-hmm. And it's not just where can you play, it's where can you play that conveys the most amount of information, but also, on top of that, inductive reasoning. Oh, why they could have played there, why didn't they play there? Also comes into play. Does that make sense?
Absolutely.
All right, so that said, we're going to bring the other 2 cards I used as an example. We're going to shuffle these up. Julie, if you will throw all of those into the bag, we will begin. There we go. Hey, Bree, long time no see. Mm-hmm. I have no idea what the MSRP is on this, Renji. I'm sorry.
I don't either, I'm going to be honest, because I backed it on Kickstarter a very long time ago, but I know that it was something,
so you know what?
For the size box it was a reasonable amount.
Okay, all right, just based on size alone, if you, and components and art and all that. So this is the deck that is going to be coming. The next card that's good, that is public information, okay? So I'm going to set the over-under on Glory to Rome's to 1.5 because it's collective, so it'll be towards the game, probably.
Right.
And do you choose us collectively or the game? That's your choices. Okay? So that said, does anybody have Schwazi?
Nope.
Okay. Okay, we'll do this. Because I always have poker chips around. Here we go.
Nice.
We'll do it this way.
Of course you do.
Right? Because, you know.
'Cause.
All right, Julie, you're our guest. Top, middle, bottom.
Middle.
Middle, it is. Middle is this one. All right, I am the first player. So you guys get to play along with me to start. So let's go over what the cards are first before I draw my fates. Okay.
Christopher Clark, that was
Yeah, MSRP
well played.
is out of stock, right? Well played. All right.
Fair.
So the hours never changes. If you cannot play anywhere else, play one of your fates here, then move it to one card to the right, meaning it's going to advance the timer on that card. Okay. So we've already gone through, well, actually all of them, so I don't need to go over any of them. All right. So never mind. Here we go. All right. So I will draw 2. All 21 tiles are in here. Nobody else has any in their hand.
Nothing up our sleeves.
Nothing up our
There you
sleeves.
go. All right. So we will keep the bag right there. Ladies, if you will look down, please.
Nothing to see here. Nothing to
Right.
see.
All right. So a moment. I'm going to quickly switch there so you guys can see what my tiles are there. They're now going face down. There we go. Okay. So now you guys have seen what I have seen. Don't say anything yet until they've made a decision or not, but then you can, because you guys obviously have hidden info that they don't have. So here we go. So I need to remember what
So it would be
I have.
terrible if you gave us
Yeah, don't.
clues.
Yeah.
terrible.
Okay. So if the sum of my fates is 709, I can play there. Okay. If one of my fates matches a visible fate, which I cannot, so that is unavailable, period. Play one of your fates here. If you do, say whether it's remaining higher or lower, right? If one of your fates is exactly 2 more or 2 less. Now, I am not allowed to say, I can't, I only have 1 child. You can't say any of that. So. All right.
Thinking. Oh, you get to
You know
say
what?
something.
I will.
I
I'm
didn't
going to
see
bring
it.
these down a little.
Okay.
No, it's okay.
You're good with
Yeah,
that?
just bringing it down, and we'll put them up here.
Sure.
Gotcha.
Okay. There we go. No, that doesn't. I'm sorry, guys.
It looked good. You're
No,
fine.
no, because that way the pips are closer to the symbol.
Oh, sure, okay.
That makes sense. There we go. All right,
Okay.
so I played the 3 on the top. So play one of your fates here. If you do, say whether your remaining fate is higher than the one you played. Higher.
So the other one is higher than 3
Okay, so please turn over 1 and 2 and 3.
and 3.
Now, interesting.
I don't think it's 5 either because the plus or minus 2, 1.
So it's that, but also 6 because 3 plus 6 is 9. So I almost feel like you would have.
So 4, 5, and 6 are out, you think, because they'd be 7 to 9?
It would give more information otherwise.
Yes. So,
Which would leave just 7.
yep. I agree with you. Jonathan mentioned he'd actually prefer not to see the tiles, Edward, to play
Oh.
along with you because they could play along with us guessing,
okay,
which is a
fair
little.
enough. Fair enough.
Yeah,
Okay,
so no
you
tiles.
You will not see them again then. Okay,
Yeah.
fair enough.
So, considering that, I mean, definitely think that you said 5 would be out. Mm-hmm. Please turn over 5.
Yes.
I still think 4 and 6 also because
I agree with you because they would be 7 to 9.
Otherwise, you would have 3 pieces of information versus the
Yep.
only the 4 that you would have gotten. So, are we in agreement that we
Yep.
could get 7?
Yes.
Okay, we could get 7.
Well done. Well done.
Yes.
Well done. Good job. See, and exactly, it's not only where you place, it's where you don't place also comes into play. So well done. So that will go there. One other thing that I forgot to mention is
I remember last time though, it all started with this. Like,
It-
it all
it's-
started
right.
great, and then
Understood.
suddenly,
Right.
you're freed from the fate. So this fate will go out of the game.
Sure.
There we go. These will go back into the bag.
That
There.
feels really good. Right?
feels super satisfying.
Yay!
We did that like 2 or 3 times in
It
a
was
row.
like,
We're like, this is easy,
And then
And
no.
then it got dark.
No, it went fast. It went fast.
Okay. All right. All
So it's
right.
me.
So there we go. So well done, team HC, I guess. All right. So the new card that came out is higher. If one of your fates is higher than the other, play the higher one here. Okay. So now I'm going to reset my line because obviously I have no tiles now. So the only person in the world that will know Jess's tiles is Jess.
It's a very exclusive club.
Jonathan says, it's weird watching YouTube when people I'm watching suddenly address me by name. Cool. Takes getting used to. TV never does that.
TV doesn't
Yes.
do that.
My TV does.
Do
Oh.
you?
Okay.
It would have been really cool if I had like a tinfoil hat.
And put it on. Yeah. Nice.
Oh,
You know what I'll do, actually? I will continue to show my tiles, but I will give everybody a warning so
Sure.
you can hear. Hey, I'm going to show
Look
them.
away.
Look away. I won't mention the numbers. I will flash them, and then, okay, now you can look.
Don't
Well, if you
flash
mention-
them, but show them the numbers.
Right.
I mean, we're not looking.
right.
He's warning them to look away.
Look at your own peril.
Right. Okay, so Jess played a 7 on higher. If one of your fates is higher than the others, play the higher one here.
Okay, so here's the hard part about this. It's a 3. So if we don't guess, we're gonna have to move it 2. Regardless, it's better to guess, even though we have a 1 in 6 chance at just.
If the
look.
prediction is incorrect, the player, so we'll move it 3 times.
Oh, 3 times.
Because 1 for getting it wrong and 2 more for it matching the fate,
So-
right? Or no, never mind. No, I'm wrong. No, I do. Advance the player's doom 2 unless the allies made a correct prediction. So it's going to move 3 if we're wrong.
And it's gonna move 2.
If we don't guess.
Okay.
So keep that in
So-
mind, which is halfway home almost.
Right, so maybe we forego a guess unless there's some really good reason.
Well,
for
let's
doing that.
let's work through
So
it,
let's
right?
work through
Okay. So if the sum of your fates is 7, 8, or 9, play one of them here. So means that it's unlikely to be a 1 or a 2.
Correct.
Okay.
So please turn over your 1 and 2.
So if one of your fates is higher than the other, play the higher one here. So it can't be a 7 by default,
Right.
right? So please turn over your 7. Okay. If one of your fates no. And if it's exactly 2 or more or less, so it can't be a 5.
So please turn over your 5.
So we know that this tile is a 3, 4, 6. Do we know that? She played it here, only gave us really one piece of information by playing here. Whereas had she played here, it would have given us 3 or 2. 2 would have given us 2. So she didn't. So we're assuming the 1 and the 2. But we can't definitively know that. But I would have thought she
Well, that would have narrowed it down to 2 versus
Right.
3, which is, so that would be more information. It would be logically make more sense to play it at the place that gives you the most information.
Correct. So it's likely that the tile that Jess has is a 3, 4, 6. Would you agree?
Yes.
Okay. Given that, we only have a 33% chance of guessing correctly.
Correct.
So if we don't guess, this will fade. And when it fades, I just want to make sure, discard the fates. So this will go away. We will flip over and we will get a new card. And it will advance 2. Jess will keep this. We'll know it's a 3, 4, 6. And then possibly she plays the other one to help us then remove more information next turn, right?
Yeah,
If possible.
if possible.
Because cards may change. I don't think we should guess, but what do you think?
No, I think it's not a push. As much as it feels like a push your luck type of game, it is definitely a play by the percentages. Seems smarter, and the percentages are not in our favor.
Okay, so we are not going to guess. So 3 pips, 3, so the card will fade. So when it fades, we're going to flip it over. So we'll just put it right here, okay?
What do we get?
Discard all the fates, first off. That will go. This will stay in front of Jess, so we're going to keep it right there for her as a reminder. Then, discard all the fates in front of the back to the bag. Flip it over and place it below the central, right, so here, okay. Advance the Doom marker 2 and refill the row of Arcana cards. Okay. All right, so our fate, though, says, before making a prediction, the group may discard this and pick number X and ask, is your fate higher than X? So it's a little bonus. So there you go. That
But
can be
before.
useful. And it's a one-time use. Before making a prediction, is it higher
Oh, but before
than...
making a prediction.
Yeah,
so you
correct.
have the info first. That's cool.
Yeah, so there you go. So
That's
it's a
good.
one-time use and it goes away. There we go. Boom, done. Jess keeps this. She does not reset that. And Miss Julie, it is your turn. So while Julie's thinking, I'll tell you this just anecdote, I guess, whatever, story. So growing up, I traveled a lot for not great reasons, but that's neither here nor there. We were on the road a lot. And back then, it feels like back then there were a lot more truck stops than there are now. Maybe that's just kid logic in my head.
Probably kid logic.
And you know those workbooks with the invisible ink markers kind of things that you would write? They're like, I don't know if they exist
they
anymore.
do
but-
exist, and mostly at truck stops.
There you go. So I loved those, and I had a number of those. And so the logic puzzles from that became then the logic puzzles of like the puzzle books now.
Right.
Which now is like Sudoku and everything. But I like the ones with the grid.
Yeah.
You know, like, okay, if this, then it can't be that,
Yes.
which means it can't be this. And, I absolutely was enamored with those growing up and my whole life. And this game is kind of that. And so when I played this, I was like, I really like this. So that's why we're streaming it today. There you go.
That's that. I like those too. But did you systematically go through them? Because I've seen kids grab that thing and just like...
Oh no!
I know!
No!
It's sacrilege.
Why would you do that?
Because they cheat.
Terrible. Kids are terrible.
But you can't do that. You got to go through it methodically.
Okay. Well, here we go. So it can't be on any of these cards.
No.
The sum is not
No,
7, 8,
it's
or
not a
9.
1, 2, or 3.
Correct.
Please turn over your 1, 2, and 3.
Oh, no. If both of your fates are the same, please turn over a 6. Please turn over a 4. Okay, so we have a 50-50 shot right now.
Oh, this is... Yeah, but we can use that.
We could, but I feel like we should keep that in our back pocket.
We did not do well with the 50-50. 50-50 is not...
We think 50-50 is our friend.
It's not.
And it isn't.
It is not our friend.
Although we did play the percentages and it should have been our friend.
And it still wasn't.
And it still wasn't.
So I think we should use the higher then, and then we'll know.
Can I give the example of why?
Yes.
Okay, sure.
So we had a 50-50 and it was down to, I believe, a 1 higher or 1 lower. So it was, the 2 was out and it was either a 1 or a 3. A 3 was also out on the board, and unbeknownst to the other 2 players, I also had a 3 in my hand.
From a previous non-guess.
round.
Right, yeah.
So I said
Like I have one
immediately,
hand.
Right.
we should guess 3.
Right.
Because
Odds are
out
it's not
of
that
the
one.
Bag,
There's one there's
only
3,
one
right?
left,
There's
right.
one less.
And guess what?
it was the 1.
Right,
was the
it was.
three.
So it's still, just like in poker, even if you're 98%, you can
There's still that
lose.
2%.
So ironically, Jess has obviously some information here. And assuming that Julie and I were right in that it can only be a 3, 4, or 6, that is not a 5 or a 7, so that information really doesn't help us, provided that Julie and I were
And
right.
Jonas
in
asked the
that.
question, when previous fates are discarded, do they go back to the bag?
Yes.
That 7 did go back into the bag.
Yep,
yeah.
and it does discard all the fates in front of the fated card back to the bag.
Yep.
All right, so Julie can't help us because she's the active player. So, Jess, you think we should use that?
Yes.
I mean, it guarantees us.
Yes.
So, okay, I'll agree to that. But before so, I would like to go ahead and ask, which do you think it would be? Just what's your gut say?
5.
I think it was the 5 too. So we would have guessed 5, but that's neither here nor there. So now, is your fate higher than 5?
Yes.
And we would have been wrong.
Yes, see? That's a good thing.
So I think we should guess the 7, correct?
I think so.
Okay, is it a 7?
So you see,
There we go.
the right call was made.
Obviously.
In
there
doing
we go.
such things.
So this, now, if you cannot, move it 1 card to the right. So now that is 2/3 of the way already there. So that might influence where we actually play fate tiles
Except that
now.
we guessed the fate, so it goes away.
Yeah, we guessed.
There's that. Never. What one did we guess? Oh, yeah, right. That goes away. Never mind.
Right. So normally the card would also go away, but since we didn't,
Right.
You couldn't
since they
play
play
it.
it on there, but we still don't.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
That's actually a very good question.
Is what?
Does this one go away then? Because it moves immediately to the right. So I believe we remove this fate.
Okay. If you cannot play here, play one. Then move it to 1 card to the right.
Then move it, so then this
Oh,
one goes
it does.
away.
So we get that
Because we've
one.
resolved that fate, because the,
When
Ah.
she placed there, she says it's this one, but
then
it goes
moves to
here.
the right, and then you've resolved the fate that it's underneath.
Huh. That's actually a really good question. I don't know the answer to that.
No, I think
so-
that's clear.
Yeah, is it?
Yeah, this
Okay.
isn't a
me-
question in
to
my
me it
mind.
is.
but-
Okay, then we're going to, because it immediately moves to the right.
Yes.
And then we guess correctly, so therefore this
This
card
flips.
goes away.
Oh, doesn't it?
No,
Fade?
no,
Oh,
it doesn't
right.
fade. It would, because we solved it
Yep.
correctly, right?
You only get the
So,
bonus if
right.
you get the bad.
You're right.
Okay, so there we go.
That to you.
So now Julie can reset her line.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Oh, I should reset mine too, right?
Hey, Jan.
All right, so warn everyone that you're gonna
Okay.
show the tiles.
All right. Yep. All right. So a moment. Let me look at them. Okay, ladies, if you'll look down.
Coffee break.
Everybody at home, if you do not want to see what the tiles are, look away now. Those are the tiles I drew. Okay, everyone can look back now. Okay, so those are my 2 tiles there. Okay, so now, if one of your fates is 5, 6, or 7, and the other is not, play the 5, 6, or 7 here. Okay? If one of your nope, nothing face up. If both of your tiles are the same, play one of them here. And if one of your fates is exactly 2 or more or 2 or less than the other, play one of them here. Okay. So that is useless.
So far, because we're doing well.
There's that.
Right.
All right.
So
it's not 5, 6, or 7.
So please turn over 5, 6, and 7. Which doesn't help us with the match or the same or the +2. So that's a bummer
Yep.
because that is a 25% chance per number, and I don't see any other way to narrow it down.
So hold on, real quick, a
You
moment.
take a look at that. No, I don't either. All right. If both your fates are the same. Ugh. Nope. Yeah, 1 in 4 chance is not that great.
You know what? Chris is right.
Oh, so that doesn't fade?
No, they never do. Or they never go away. They always fade, either naturally or not. So we screwed that up.
So we get the bonuses?
Because fade just means flipping.
Yeah, well, because that will just go away and it will then reset to what it was. So there we go.
What do you
Okay.
mean? So does this flip over here, is the question?
No, because there's nothing underneath it. So this would actually,
That one, oh.
you see what I'm saying? So there's just nothing under it. So until it fades, they stay here.
I see.
Do you see that?
Nope,
Does that make
but
sense?
I believe you.
Look, let's say I played this here.
So with the,
If you guess correctly, right, through what this is,
Yep.
this just goes away.
that's, the goal of the game is to get these to go away though. So we have to be able
No.
to do
The
that.
game is to get
right?
7.
Is to get to 7.
okay.
Right.
So
The
they
purpose
just
of
stay.
this is to change out the rule set, which is why I thought it made sense logically to
Keep
change
going.
up the rule sets more
Nope.
frequently.
No.
Okay.
Okay, so you know what? I'm going to reset.
Okay.
Okay. Because I think that might give away information that I don't want to. So we're going to start over with my turn. So, ladies, if you will look down.
Got it.
Oh, I dropped one. Okay. If you do not want to know what my tiles are, look down, Julie, please. If you don't want to...
I'm just reading the comments.
Okay. No, because you're going to see the screen.
Oh, right.
All right. Look away if you don't want to see.
Look away.
There they are. Okay, you can look now. Okay. So now, thank you for the correction, Chris. Okay. If the sum of your fates is 7, 8, or 9, play one of them here. Can't do this. If both of your fates are the same, play one of them here. If it's 2 or less, 2 more, 2 less. Okay?
Flip over your...
Oh, yeah. Okay, here we go.
Oh. So it's... The other one is 2.
Yep.
We're guessing 2.
Yes.
Hey, there we go.
Awesome.
Okay, that was... This one's kind of a gimme.
It is, but I can see why, like, it's a low percentage that you would actually
Very
get
rare
it.
that probably would
Right.
happen. So,
So
Jeff.
otherwise it doesn't help. It's not
Correct.
very helpful.
And do I need to take this into my hand when I'm grabbing the tile?
No, it stays... you draw one tile.
I think you have a choice, no? I just can't give any information of which one I'm
Correct.
taking,
Yep.
playing. Okay.
Or up here. Wait, there. Until you have 2. Later, you may start your turn holding 1. In that case, you only draw 1 new fate.
Okay.
Okay?
Yes, Luke.
Yes, Luke, you have to have... If you don't have a legal move, then you can play on that. All right, so hold on. So doubling back, Jonas says, so the 6 fate token should still be under the 7 and 9 card.
Because we guessed it correctly, so no, it shouldn't.
Does it hurt you being under there, or is it
Yes,
giving you more
until it
information?
fades.
Right. Because we have guessed correctly.
So I don't know if
3
this
times?
is changes, because reading the rule book, that's not what I remember reading. I
Yeah.
understand what they're saying, and I don't know if it's changed from the original. But what they're saying is, you guess, and even if you're correct, it stays there until it fades.
Okay.
It's right here.
So prediction. If correct, you are freed from the fate. The player collects 1 point. After any prediction, correct or incorrect, discard your fate back to the bag and reset your number line.
Just your feet.
So
That's
Your
not
fate
your
being
fate.
right. So the 6 wouldn't stay there if we guessed correctly.
Yeah, because you drew fate. I'm not sure that that's
discard.
true.
No, the one.
2 fates to your hand. They're both
Only
called
the one.
fate.
Only the one that's in your hand.
It doesn't say that.
That's your fate. Yes.
They're both your fate. It
This
clearly
one that stays out
2
here.
fates in your hand. Both of
Right,
them are
but
your
once you
fates.
play it out here, it's no longer your fate. Your fate.
Why?
Play 1 fate.
This.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah,
it doesn't
see,
say
that's
that.
not clear.
No, I think we're good with what we're doing right now. It doesn't seem to say that.
Which isn't necessarily, I get what they're saying, because that actually makes it more challenging. Because then you're
Right.
fading, and therefore it's automatically moving it
Right.
up. So then you have to be strategic about where you place
Right,
them.
and that's what Chris is saying. Right.
Correct.
Okay.
Okay. So we'll do that starting going forward. How's that? Fine. Let's just try it that way.
Okay.
Okay.
So
here,
here's
all
your
right.
information.
Let's do
If
that.
one of your fates is exactly 2 or more or 2 or less than the other, play one of them here. Why did you reset those?
Because I have to. You have to remember.
A moment. Let me find it. That is incorrect.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure it isn't. I'm pretty sure because it's also the option to at the beginning, because you have a new number and you may put one or the other down.
right here. If they decide not to make a prediction, keep your fate face down. Do not reset your number line and proceed to the fate step.
Got it.
It was 3, 4, or 6, right? Mm-hmm. Now, we don't know if Jess played the same one. I would assume.
Well, yes, but so 2 higher is an 8. So
Right.
this is a 4.
So, which means can't be a forest. Please flip over your 4.
No, if
Right.
one of them is.
Oh. Oh. Then we guess that it's a 4. Okay, we're guessing that it's a 4. There we go. So this will stay. No, this goes away. But
No,
the card.
Because it.
They literally are saying it stays.
Okay.
And here's the 6.
So if it stays, this fades because this is a 1. There's 2 there. This
Which
automatically
means
fades.
this will go to,
up there.
so.
This
Sure
will
makes
go
it challenging.
here.
Yeah.
Okay, wow, yeah, this gets way harder all of a sudden.
So
okay.
then it does in fact go away.
Yes.
Because it burns.
And that will
it,
stay there. Okay, got it.
And a new one comes out.
Right. Woo-wee. Here we go, twice. Before making a prediction, the group may discard this card to make one extra prediction this turn. All right, here we go.
Probably should use that. What do you think?
Reset your number line and possibly, depending on where she plays this, right? Mm-hmm. Oof.
One of your fates is 5, 6, or 7, and the other is not.
Okay, so here, Chris says if you guess correctly, causing fading causes no doom. But here's oh, and here's the rub. Here is the point that I misunderstood. Advance the player's doom by 2, unless your allies made a correct prediction this turn. Now it all makes sense. So this stays. And if we make a correct prediction, instead of it causing us to doom, it doesn't. We just get the benefit. Now, all of a sudden, playing on a harder level makes more sense.
Okay. Oh, yeah.
Light bulbs.
No.
There you go.
Okay,
Yep.
okay.
Okay. All right. Got it. There you go, Chris. Well
Thanks.
done. Thank you. All right. So Julie
All
now
right.
has drawn her 2 tiles.
I have. It's
Okay.
going to be amazing. We're going to have a great time with it.
I detect sarcasm, but nope.
I'd like to point out I'm doing really well with my poker face.
I'm
I did
doing
not
terrible.
Before.
So
I think I've done pretty well.
you've done much
Apparently,
better.
yeah.
You've
No,
done much
so we
better.
first played this while Julie's figuring out her placement. So when we first played this, the first time I placed one and they did math wrong, and I squeaked, and that wasn't good because it was
did
clear
math
that they did math wrong because I squeaked.
We logicked wrong.
Yeah.
We did.
No,
We logicked
there was math.
incorrectly.
You literally counted to 10 on something, and I was like, no. And so I squeaked. And then the second time, apparently I breathed.
You breathe differently. I picked up on that. I did.
Breath changes.
And I was right.
Yes, but I didn't know I breathed differently. So the next time, I froze and stared out the window and just didn't even breathe. Like I was just like,
It was great.
Yeah, that was pretty.
And we guessed wrong.
You're right.
and they
right,
guessed
we
wrong.
did,
But
we did.
it's really hard for me at least, to not share information.
So, what this is teaching, folks, I think this is a good teachable moment from our mistakes here. All right? Much like a winsome game, a lot of people, truly, a lot of people, myself included, because you just saw all 3 of us do it, infer rules that are not written. John Bohr is very specific. Says, if it's not written, you can't do it. Or, it's follow the rules. And we inferred things that we shouldn't have. So my apologies to everybody. It's a bad habit.
Okay.
Inference.
Bree says, that's interesting. I hadn't thought about it, but I've only played the game with other poker players.
Yeah.
I've only played with non-poker players. All right. Okay, Jess? So
What do
she
you think?
played saying she can't play anywhere else. So if the sum of your fates is 7, 8, or 9, which means it should not be a 7, 6, or 5.
Yes.
Okay, flip over your 7, 6, and 5, please. Can't be a 6, because there was a 6 out here. If both of your fates are the same. Can't be a 2, because that would have been an obvious. Please flip your 2. If one of your fates is 5, 6, or 7, and the other is not.
We already flipped 5, 6, and 7.
There we are. So now we have a 66.6% chance of guessing correctly.
No, we don't.
Yes, we do, if we use this.
Oh, okay.
Right. Hey, Portos. Now, if not, if we choose not to, this immediately, so that goes there. This is going to flip, and it's going to advance 2. I don't know that that would be the worst thing. We would then have 2 fated that we could use on a subsequent turn, but this will advance 2, and 2's not so bad.
What do we go up, though, if we guess right?
1.
That's still 1.
But it's only a 66% chance, whereas the back of this might give us a better
Are we going to
advan-
get better than 66?
Yeah, because next turn, we have that information. Your call. I'll leave it up to you.
No, why is it up to me? It's a team thing.
2/3 is better than 1/3. It's better than 50%, but because here's the other thing. If we choose to do this before making a prediction and we're still wrong, it moves up 2. This flips. It moves up 3 actually, because wrong guess there, and we lose that. I think we ought to bank it. I think we should not.
Okay.
Do you disagree?
No.
Okay. So we are not going to make a prediction. So that comes here. So we did not make a correct prediction. That advances 2. This will flip over. And we get old. After playing their fate, the active player may discard this to say whether their fate from the previous turn if they played. So that'll actually help us with Julie's.
Okay.
All right, so there you go. So these now will go away, back in. Julie will keep her other one face down in front of her and does not reset her line. And we have the beast. If one of your fates is exactly 1 more or 1 less, then the other play one of them here. Okay?
I like the art on that one.
Okay.
I will say the art is fantastic.
Yeah, I
All
really
right.
like the beast.
Ladies, if you will look down, please.
Eyes closed.
Okay. And if you do not want to see what my tiles are, look away now. There they are. Okay, everyone can look. All right, so here we go. One of your fates is exactly 1 more or 1 less. Okay, if there's nothing visible, so that if they're the exact same. If one of your fates is 5, 6, or 7 and the other is not, play 5, 6, or 7 here.
Okay, so it's not a 5, 6, or 7. Please turn those over. There's nothing else on the board.
Nope.
So that's really not going to help us. So once again, we're at the... You're really good at getting these, huh? Sweet. What can we use these for?
Make 2 guesses, and this one really doesn't apply. That would apply to you.
The trick of it is we're getting...
2 guesses is not good here.
Yeah.
It's going to advance 2 if you don't, and we'll get that one as well. That means we have to get the next 4, but we'll have... I can't talk, sorry.
Yeah, strategically, it makes sense to not guess and really hope that we get the next 4 correct. Basically, is what it comes down to.
Okay.
I'm very sad about this. But
Me
I think
too.
it's the choice that we're going to make.
Okay.
That advances 2. This will go back into the bag. This will flip over. And this one, we know what that is. This one, before making a prediction, the group may discard this to ask, is your fate a 5, 6, or 7? Okay. J-Rex.
Do we get a new one?
Oh, yeah, we do.
What's that?
The Blind Man. Free. Play one of your fates here. I don't further your doom when I fade. Okay.
So if you can't play it anywhere else, instead of playing it here, you can play it.
No, I
there.
can. It looks like you always can do that.
Right.
Well, yeah, you can, but she's saying instead of playing it there. Right?
Oh, because that one
Yeah,
doesn't
right.
fade, dear.
There you go. Sorry I wasn't more helpful. All right, we got this. Here we go.
Yeah.
Here we go.
It's gonna be great. It's gonna be good.
Here we go.
But wait. This doesn't apply now because you can always play one there.
Until it. Well, no, but then it'll fade. But we won't.
Once it plays.
You get a one and done with
Yeah.
it. It's like a one.
It's a one
freebie.
shot. Yeah, exactly. Exactly, Jonathan. I just noticed a deeper level. It's not just why wasn't this tile played elsewhere, it's why wasn't the other tile played instead. Correct. There you go. See, light bulbs go off like multiple times throughout the playing of this. Well, alrighty. So we know we get a free non-guess if we don't want to, right? Mm-hmm. For this. Okay, so let's go through it. It's not a 6. Please flip over your 6. It's not a 7. Please flip over your 7. Okay, so that's what we know. Okay? Mm-hmm. Now,
I say we don't burn any of these because we're going to get the benefit.
understood,
of this.
but hold on. Let's keep working through this, though, using the same logic that Jonathan just brought up, right? Mm-hmm. Why didn't she play her other tile? Mm-hmm. Okay, I get why these, but why wouldn't she play her other tile here? Mm-hmm. Because it's not one or more or less. So why didn't she play the other one?
So any other one you would eliminate 2 there.
If one of your fates is exactly one more or one less than the other. No, she couldn't have. That means, yeah, no, I guess it doesn't matter. Yeah. Yeah, I guess we just don't guess and just fade it.
We don't guess?
Right,
Okay.
right, because that'll flip over, right?
Yep.
Because right now we have a 20% shot at it.
Correct.
All right, so we're not going to guess. But it does not advance that.
Right.
Here we go. Before making your prediction, the group may discard this to ask, is your fate a 1, 4, or 7? This will go back into the bag. Put your other one up there. Yes, please. Went from, wow, crushing this, to, oh man, this is looking sketchy really quick. Yep.
So this is the one where if your sum is equal to or higher than 11.
Okay, so big numbers, no whammies. Now, before you take that one, but you have to, right, there, you got it. You know what you're doing. And remember, we do have the one that says, after playing their fate, the active player may discard this to say whether they played their old one or their new one. Mm-hmm. And we know, based on the one that was played, I believe it was a 2? Okay, she is not telling us if this is her old one or not. Okay, so that should give us information as well, right?
I mean, but it is. She's keeping her old one, I think.
We don't know that for sure.
Okay.
Okay. Probably not. Not a 5. There. So
So
here,
it's just that one.
If it's
not
one,
the 4.
If one of your fates is exactly one more or one less.
Oh,
than
it
the other.
is exactly
it's
one more. So it's the
Probably
4.
the 4. That
It
would
has
be
to
the
be.
logical. Well, no, assuming that's the old one, and why wouldn't she?
So we
she
can
had it?
ask, because that top one allows us to ask, is it a 1, 4?
But I don't
7?
know that we need to.
Yeah, we do. We've like a million of those. Why are we saving them? We're gonna die with all those out there.
Well, hold
Why
on.
would you do
Hold
that?
on. Here, hold on. Here's a good reason.
Okay.
A 1, 4, and 7.
So,
Yes.
I'm sorry. I didn't know you have not, as far as I know, you didn't take any and burn them. I did not know if you were actually asking me or not, so I did not
No,
respond to
we
the
don't.
question.
No,
That's a you
Right.
choice.
you choose if you're doing this.
Read the
It's a
old.
you choose.
Can you read it?
Old. After playing their fate, the active player may discard this to say whether they had that fate during their previous turn.
Okay. So, I'm burning this.
Yes. Was this your previous fate from the last turn?
No.
Okay. So, Now we know that the one in her hand is still the one from her hand.
So it's one of
which
those
means
that's up.
it's got to be the 1, 3, or 4. If it's 1 more or 1 less, which means it should be the 4, correct?
Yes.
Now, the reason we don't want to burn this is because I have the 1 and a 4 here. If you guys are going to use the logic of that's correct. That makes
Thank
sense?
you, Jonas.
Sure.
I
We
was
can go
trying
with the
to get
4.
them to get there, but they didn't, so.
I know. Jonas, I said that. I was like, it is the old one.
Well,
It was. Yeah, we knew this.
So do you want to
And she didn't have to do the old. Just because it's there doesn't mean that
Correct.
her not using it doesn't mean it's the
Correct.
old either.
Do you want to guess?
Yes.
Go ahead.
The 4.
So here's the part that makes me sad.
What?
I meant to put the 4 down last time, and I put down without looking, and it was my other one, because I put it here, and what was out there would have eliminated the 1, 2, and 3, and the 5, 6, 7.
Mistakes were made.
And so I looked down, and it only eliminated the 5, 6, 7, and then the 2.
It happens.
And I was so mad.
Fate would have it.
So
She didn't reveal it though.
so mad. I was like,
Stay tuned.
no, that was not the tile that was supposed to go
There's
down.
more madness to be revealed.
Okay.
All right. So cool. We succeeded.
Yep.
Then this will go away and that will go away, but the cards stay. Okay. All right. Okay, so the ones that are left, is your fate a 1, 4, or 7? Is your fate a 5, 6, or 7? Or make a second guess before you say you're going to make a second guess before you make your first. Okay? Okay.
Aren't you supposed to put them both in your hands so that we can't tell if you play the new or the old?
Yes. So I will do so. All right, ladies, look down, please. If everybody at home does not want to see, look away. Okay, everybody can look. All right.
Oh. So are we in agreement that it's a 1?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So we think your other tile is a 1.
Okay. That worked.
Draw well. All right, there we go. So now Jess brings that back to her hand.
Yep.
Or it could be they didn't read the card properly. True statement.
Careful reading.
Yes. Oh. Joyan, welcome from Hong Kong. Nice. All right. Hey, Franny. You know what? I
The
can
mirror
actually-
should fade
Oh,
now.
and all of this.
The mirror should fade now because it was used.
Oh,
We don't get the...
well that.
because the tile that was below it was... Well, it doesn't matter. It was a 1. So it fades. We just don't have to take the deficit of it.
Correct. Yes. Okay. So here we go. We can make a second guess. I'm going to drop these down so you guys... There we go. We can make a second guess. 5, 6, or 7 we could guess. A 1, 4, or 7 we could guess. Or
Ask, yeah.
this one is we can make an extra turn. So we actually have 2 of those.
Cool.
Okay. There we go. Just trying to make it...
Need that.
We may. All right. We need to make 2 correct before we screw this up.
So 6 is
Oh,
played
oh,
on
sorry,
that
I
can't
missed
play
that.
anything.
Okay.
So then it gets moved over to here, which means this is going to fade.
There. Okay.
Okay. So it wasn't 1 higher or lower. So
Do we assume that this is her old one?
Oh,
regardless,
yeah.
I'm not assuming either. It's a +1 or a -1.
Right. So it can't be a 5 or a 7.
Correct. So I feel like it doesn't.
I don't
I
think
would
it...
rather start from scratch just because the only thing that's now it's telling
6 and
us is
7. Okay, so turn everything face up, please.
Please.
I'm not supposed to though. It
Unless we-
literally tells you.
at the end of your turn, and then at the beginning of the next turn, it's you're turning things if people ask you to.
Okay.
Okay, so
please
she
turn.
did not play it here. If one of your fates is exactly one, so it's not one more or one less, should be not the 5 or 7.
Correct. So please turn over your 5 and 7.
No visible at that, right? If the sum of your fates is a multiple of 3, she did not. Multiple of 3 would be 3 and 6.
So 6 goes back over and 3 goes over.
Please. And it's not higher than 11.
Which doesn't give us new
Right,
information.
there we go. So we could use the 1, 4, and 7.
We could use the 1, 4, and 7. That would give us
That would eliminate a lot of it.
either 1 or 2.
Right.
So shall we use that?
Yes, the group will discard this.
Mm-hmm.
Is your fate 1, 4, or 7?
Yes.
Okay. So please turn over your 2. So that one's useless to us, but the guessing twice we can do.
I think we use one of them.
I think
we
so
would
as
like
well.
to guess twice on this, but before we do, what would have been your guess? I think. Wait, stop! Before we use these, don't do anything. Hold on.
Mm-hmm.
We're probably still going to, but let me work through this.
Okay.
What were my last 2 tiles that I just had?
Sorry.
The tiles that were identical, what were they? They were both 1s, right?
Yep.
Which makes it really, really, really unlikely that Jess had a 1 left over, because 2 of them were just in my hand.
Okay.
Okay? Now, she could have drawn a 1, right? And she actually played this from the previous turn. I don't think that's the case. I think it's real. There is a 1 in, hold on. '18 shot that it was a 1 that she has.
I was going to go with the 4.
I think so the question is, do we use that? We can guarantee ourselves one of those. I get that.
We need 2 more points. This will
We
get
do.
us to 1 more point. With
You're right.
still another guess 2 and a 5, 6, 7 elimination. So the smart choice would be to use it.
Okay, I think it's
the
unnecessary.
hubris choice would
No,
be to
I think
just go with the 4.
Because there's a 6.5% chance that it's actually the 1. So, okay, I agree with you that we probably should, but I don't, it's my positive EV self that doesn't want to, but okay.
This is what happened last time.
I know, which has no impact on future events, but we will use that.
Uh-huh.
Is it a 4?
Yes.
Okay.
Your poker face was on point, by the way.
Was the logic right? Did you hold now that you
That was the
consent?
old one. You're always going to hold the old one. Why would you not? But, okay. So, yes, it was the old one. Let me say, same mistake you made, I made. This is what I should have played last time. It is the old one, because it would have given you way more information. I accidentally put in my hand, gonna play this one, revealed it, and myself was like,
Why don't
the
you
heck?
look before you play it?
So yeah, what is
So 2 GTRs, 1 Julie to herself, 1 me to myself.
Well, you actually have to say it. But...
Glory to Rome. But last
Glory to
time,
Rome.
like seriously, I was like, how did that? I meant
that was
to
really
play
satisfying
the.
to say it though.
Yeah, it is good. It's good.
Perfect.
Oh my goodness.
But,
yeah.
but did you see my logic behind it too?
no, yes, but no. And every
Because I also
time,
had the
that's
four in my
not
hand, so she was holding
necessarily.
it over. There was still it was interesting though.
And use those. Always use those.
Yeah,
Don't
right.
not use those. That makes no sense. That's
will
like the mind. We're playing the mind, and you have all those shurikens left at the end, and you're dead. And you're like, but I held on to the shurikens.
Oh, hey, that worked out.
Hey.
We get another.
See?
Okay.
This is why.
Okay.
Use them.
Okay, fair enough. Here, throw those in.
All right.
And here we go. If one's a 3, 4, 5, and the other is not, play a 3, 4, 5 there.
All right. This is gonna be great. It's gonna be good.
Muhammad says, fantastic heavy cardboards. I'm telling you, we're doing this because I was smitten with this game, and I really wanted to. I really enjoyed my play of this.
Yep.
I really did. Like, I wanted to play it more, but we had other games we were going to play. So.
Seriously, Luke, that was true. And at one point, I accidentally let out a little breath of air, and I was like, "Oh, I hope they don't take that to mean something," because I literally was just choking. But
Don't breathe.
All right, so here we go. She did not play on any card. It is not a multiple of 3, which means it can't be a 3 or 6, right? So please flip over your 3 and 6. Agreed, Jeff?
wait, multiple of 3, 3 and 6.
If the sum,
That's
check that.
What are you doing?
Flip those back over. I'm wrong.
Math.
Can't be a 2 or a 1.
No. A 1 or a
No, a 1. A 1.
a 1 or a 4.
You're right. Math. I'm sorry.
A 1 or a 4.
Correct. So that's here.
Or
So
a
it's not-
7. Math.
35. Correct. Can't be a 7. Good
Right.
call. If the sum of your fates is 11 or more, play one of them here, which means it can't be a 6 or a 7.
Keep in mind this is sum, not product. Sum means adding them together. So a 5 plus a 7 is 12, multiple of 3. A 5 plus a 4 is 9, and a 5 plus a 1 is 6. I just want to call that out because sum is not product.
Good call.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's 7, 8, 10, and 11, not sum.
Exactly.
Right,
So
there.
now we're good. All right, moving on.
Now the sum, meaning adding,
Yes.
meaning cannot be a 6 or 7.
Yes.
So please flip over your 6.
Yes.
No match. If one of your fates is a 3, 4, or 5, and the other is not a 3, 4, or 5, which means it must be a 3, 4, or 5.
Yes.
So please flip over your 2. Okay, before we do anything, can we go back through these and double check our work?
Yeah.
If the sum of your fates is 11 or more,
So 6 or 7 should not be showing. Done.
good. If adding the 2 tiles together
Yes.
is a multiple of 3, play one here. Meaning it can't be a 1, a 4, or a 7.
Yes.
Okay, those are there. If one of your fates is a 3, 4, or 5, and the other is not a 3, 4, or 5, play a 3, 4, or 5 here, which means it must be a 3, 4, or 5. Mm-hmm. And we eliminated the 4 where? Here. Mm-hmm. So that's right. It's a 3 or 5.
So we could use this to guess.
Yeah.
I'd rather use that than the guess twice.
Okay. So, which do you think it is, though? There's an obvious answer.
I think
guess.
it's 3.
Because 5. I agree. But before making a prediction, is your fate a 5, 6, or 7?
Yes.
Oh, we would have been wrong.
Will you flip over your 3, please?
Is it a 5?
Yes.
Yay!
Oh my gosh, we did it.
There we go. We win. Good job. Good job.
Despite.
And we show
Despite.
the probability is not necessarily your
Despite
friend.
Our both of we should have lost that, by the way.
Take the guess. Don't use your powers. Well, we kind of did. We said we would have guessed 3.
3, right, because
And we
one
won.
of them is here, and it just goes to show that
Probability doesn't mean that.
doesn't mean it's a guarantee,
Yes.
right? And that's why
Guarantee.
poker is so enthralling to me still.
Well, and see, you compare it to poker.
Mm-hmm.
I compare it to the game I've played most ever, the Mind, because it's very much like that where you're
And I'm more like
guessing
I'm
how
playing
other people are
comparing
playing.
it to Sudoku.
Sudoku. Yeah. So we all have our different kind of
So
basis.
why do you compare it to that? Because I don't know that I've ever done a Sudoku puzzle
So when
in
you
my
have
life.
Really?
so
Yeah.
the Sudoku, you have a grid, and typically 1 through 9, and you can't either across or down use the same number twice, and
Okay.
they all have to add up to the same, and you start with certain ones.
Already printed on there, right?
Right,
Yeah.
and then you have to fill out the rest of them. So there becomes if I put a 7 here, a 7 cannot go down here. But however, if I add that, which means the 4 will have to go here so that the 7 can go over here.
Gotcha. It can't be that a 7 can only be in one of those.
Correct.
Right. I gotcha. Right.
So
Or
to me, that's
I gotcha.
right.
The intersection.
There's a lot more sway because you're also relying on everybody else playing. For example, both of us putting out
Made a mistake. Mistakes were made.
Right.
And I will say, in my defense, I was reading everything upside down.
Yes, you
So
do
it
have
was
that.
a little
I
bit more
wasn't. I don't
challenging.
know what my defense
Fair
was.
point. Fair point.
That you're relying on everybody to actually put down the thing that will make the most logical sense to choose. So
Human
you are
fallibility,
right.
yes.
Whereas in a logic puzzle, you're going to get to a point and be like, I added wrong because numbers aren't going to right. So it is a little bit different because the only person you can blame is yourself. In a
And then not
logic
reveal
puzzle,
it, which
right.
is hard for me because I'm like, oh,
So
mistake.
that, right. And then you can't.
Right. You can't be like, no,
Make a
math.
face,
Are you
right.
mad?
And they're like, and then hearing you're like, well, clearly she didn't do this and in my head I'm like, no, Jess is an idiot. Don't believe it.
It's a trap. Right. So, and the same, right, and the same 3x3 square. Thank you. Yes. Also,
Yes.
so you get
Gotcha, okay,
you get
alright.
9 squares,
Okay.
so not
Yes.
across, not down, and not in the same square.
Yeah.
So
I'm making you play one after this. We're
Yeah.
just going to have to do that.
Alright.
I'm moderately okay at them. My mother
I like them.
is a savant. And what's funny is that's what she did. Like her whole life was taxes and insurance and
Yeah.
and her relaxation
Is numbers.
was still numbers. So you
I
don't
can
play.
relate.
So I would actually very much enjoy watching her play poker with you
Oh,
because
that needs to
she's just a
happen.
calculator.
Right.
That's all she's ever doing.
Just for a second, there's going to be a segue to Julie's mom. Julie's mom is amazing. We were sitting on a porch. She comes out, pops her head out, and says, "May I trouble you? Would you like some wine?" Like, that's a bother. Yes.
Overlooking the lake,
Second,
reading
she
Stephen
brings
King in
out
vain.
the wine and then proceeds to say, "May I play you my favorite song?" And it's Poppin' Tags.
Yeah,
And
it's Straight Shot by Macklemore.
yes. And
Yeah.
it was,
That
we're
was
like,
awesome.
I'm
She
like,
can-
that's my favorite song too. You're amazing.
That's
She
fine.
can
So,
Sorry,
slash
segue.
rap
It was
the whole
worth
thing.
it.
It's her favorite. Yeah, it's right
Right.
now. It's her favorite thing.
That's awesome.
But also, for the record, while she was inside pouring the wine, my father said, "Oh, Julie, you're not." Oh, she said, "Oh, Julie, you're not having wine." And my dad said, "No, that was hers." She's like, "No, that one's mine. I'm not getting left out." So yeah, no,
So there you
Yes.
go.
she's pretty fantastic.
So thoughts on the game now.
All right. We did the Sudoku. I
Right.
said the mind.
Right. And
Because
I-
I'm
and
trying
I
to
said-
read what you guys are doing and
Sure.
how you're going to play the tiles.
And everything that you do tells a story, right? Either what you did or didn't do, much like poker.
yeah.
But it very much is a logic puzzle. I am still in love with this game, especially now that we actually got it right. Thank you, Chris.
We're just going to, I need to take Chris with me. And like, can we just like
Well, Chris,
Skype him into
right,
all
right,
games?
Yeah. So, yeah, I am very smitten with this game. I really, really like logic puzzles, as I have alluded to and,
Yeah.
and discussed. And I think that this is a really good example of that. The co-op nature, I prefer having a winner, right, as opposed to we won. No, I want it to be based on my decisions, but my attraction to logic puzzles trumps that. And so I thought this was a really enjoyable experience. I thought it was a fun game. And I don't know how people start the Doom counter at 6.
No.
Challenge accepted.
No, I don't know how you do that either. Yeah, I'm glad that we streamed it just because the rules are more intricate than you would think. And I
Apparently,
think
because we
live streaming and
stuff up.
showing
There
where
you go,
we
right?
made some inferences wrong is actually good. I hope you'll see those and make sure you don't do them.
Yeah.
But it does convey the feeling of the game, which is, I think, what people would overlook. It looks like, oh, yeah, okay, I know what that is. I don't really want to play something like that. And then you're playing it, and there's this feeling that it evokes that you can't really convey on the back of a box. So I hope that came across because, yeah, it's been a fun little game to play.
Well, obviously, I'm partial to it, which is why I got it in the
Because
first
it's your
place.
copy.
It's all your
of the game,
fault.
So thank you for that.
Yeah,
by the way.
no, my pleasure. And playing it last year, and waiting a year to get it, sometimes you play something and you get an impression and you're like, this is great. And then you can revisit it and you're like, well, maybe it was greater in my mind.
Right. That happens.
Person.
Right.
This was not one of them. This is one, it does exactly what I remember it doing, which is it gives me the ability to exercise my brain, to take some time to do math, which and do that logic puzzle piece without a huge extended time in a small box that's portable. So I love playing heavier games. I don't have the time for them, but I also really don't care for light and fluffy.
Right.
I do a lot of it anyway because I have a lot of nieces and nephews, and I was a teacher, and so therefore I spend the time that I need to on those, but it's never where my heart is. So this gives me a lot more and I can play this with the 8 and 12-year-olds.
Yeah.
And
Anybody
they're
can play
still
this.
going to, they're probably going to math it wrong. There's probably going to be a lot less logic.
44-year-olds math it wrong too,
Right.
so in reading comprehension and
But we'll
Some,
get
not
there.
product.
And it's going to up their ability to do logic. And
It's
I'd
true.
rather take the hits and do this with them than play the party game.
Well, that's
For
the
the
reason
upkeep
people
of the
do
event.
Sudoku, right? Like
Right.
you're trying to exercise your mind. And I get where people say, and they're like, oh, well, it's rote. Oh, you're just going through this. You are, but then you're getting into situations where you do have to consider what the player would have done. What do they have in their thing? What was their last tile?
and
Is
in the
that
back
the old
of
one?
your head, oh wait, did they just play the wrong tile?
Right. So trying to figure that out,
And
there's
what's
more
funny,
to
though,
it.
is the 8-year-old will not mess up. The 8-year-old will put down, because he's also, he will place it. He has his big box of logic, like he has
Yeah,
those, like
'cause
the,
he's
the
into
kids
that.
ones, and that's his, instead of watching TV, like the other two are
Yeah.
playing a video game together,
And he's in the
and he gets his, like,
Yeah.
giant thing of logic puzzles and goes in the other corner with the big
Yeah.
comfy chair
Yeah.
and props himself up.
I get that.
And does
Yeah.
his like,
And
with
this
his
is what they're
bathrobe
saying, like,
on,
if-
and he looks like a little old man, and it's amazing. So he's not going to be the one that puts the wrong number down on
Right.
the wrong
So
spot.
you're
Right.
reading him
Right.
for what he is too. But
Yeah.
as they said, like for some people, no. If you don't like logic puzzles, if doing that type of math
mean-
and interpretation of what other people are
Yeah.
playing isn't your thing, then you're right. Not your game.
Right. I want a copy. The end. So there you go. All right.
Yeah.
So that is the Shipwreck Arcana. So thank you to Julie for turning us on to the game because I'd never heard of it until a week ago today.
Do I get a thank you for sleeping in that morning? So she set it up and.
There is that.
So then we didn't get to the game we were supposed to get to first.
Yes. Yeah. I think I get.
By the way, the
sleeping
game
in.
plays 2 to 5 also, so I think this would become, I think it'd be interesting at every player count, honestly. I think there are pluses and minuses to all of it. And if it's 2-player, you only have yourself to blame.
You can't.
Yeah.
You can't blame anybody but yourself.
All right, so there you go. So check it out. I thought it was really funny at Christopher Clark at the beginning. The going MSRP for a heavy cardboard game streamed
stock.
is out of stock, or
We'll see.
out of print. So honestly, I don't know, but I guess people were saying it's like around $15, $18, whatever.
16.5 for the Kickstarter promos. So between 16 and 21.
Pretty good value for the
And look
amount
at
of game
and
that
the
we
art,
got.
like we talked about. Like I love this one. This is the unique one. Do you see her? Oh, she's
Would
got
it
a
be
little
a unique?
horse. I like that.
There you go.
I like
Yeah,
the monster.
Sure.
Yeah,
There you go.
I enjoy the art too. So
All right. Cool. All right. So we will be back later tonight with Puerto Rico with
Yay.
the expansions. Thanks to Rio Grande for that. So, we'll see you tonight in 5.5 hours. Okay. We're going to go get some Mexican food.
Always.
And go do that in the
is there
meantime.
anything
So
else?
I'm very happy about that. So hopefully you guys join us tonight, 7 o'clock Eastern for Puerto Rico and the expansion number 1, number 2, which are the new buildings and the nobles. So we'll see you all then. Until then, and actually after then, I will still be Edward.
Jess.
Julie.
Maybe.
You guys have,
Maybe you'll be just, who else are you
Maybe.
going to be?
I don't know.
Listen,
also, like and subscribe down below. Support the show over on pledgehc.com. It's scrolling underneath. So please, it helps the show. It helps you. Everybody drives home in a Cadillac. Not literally, it's a figurative statement from the
Metaphoric
color of
Cadillac?
money. There you go. That. All right. We'll catch y'all later tonight. Take care, everybody.
Bye.
Some is not product.
I can't
Some
believe we
is not
both
product.
did that.
Ugh.